here for their second game in Pool A are the tournament number 4 seed Saskatoon, currently 0-1 after their opening Pool A game where they conceded that matchup 16-14 against Novi Sad Al Wakda. And their opponents preparing for their first game here at the 2015 FIBA 3x3 All-Stars are Tokyo, the tournament number 5 seed. Tomoya Ochiai just introduced, number 1 ranked player in Japan. Seon Edi, his teammate, the shooting guard. Mustafa Erdogan from Turkey, but representing Tokyo in this 3x3 tournament. And here is the 2-time defending King of the Rock champion, one of the best, well, the best King of the Rock one-on-one player in the world. That is Kavanch Dinler. So there, your 2 lineups out on the floor, just going through their final warm-up preparations. This is the coin toss. Michael Linklater and Tomoya Ochiai. Looks as though Saskatoon have won the toss. We'll see what they elect to do, because remember, the team who begins the game with possession won't have possession in the event that the game goes to overtime. So Kavanch Dinler, Mustafa Erdogan, the Turkish representatives on this Tokyo outfit. Tokyo represented here at the FIBA 3x3 All-Stars in Doha, Qatar. Courtesy of Tomoya Ochiai, number 1 ranked 3x3 player in the rest of the world. The Tokyo team. Remember, no coach, so they're responsible for setting the strategy themselves. It is Saskatoon who will have the first possession. Saskatoon wearing black trimmed with green. Tokyo in white trimmed with predominantly black. And what a play to open the scoring. 2 points a drain and a strong drive to the hoop. So Saskatoon leading Tokyo by 2. Inside it goes to Liefers, goes to the jump hook. Count the basket, says the official. Erdogan can't believe it. That's why he's in conversation with the referee. Now with the opportunity to complete a 2-point play, put the brakes on effectively, went to the spin move. Erdogan saying, what? You serious? But now, chance to complete a 2-point play. Liefers gets his own rebound, fighting for it on the inside, still battling, exploding off the floor. O'Neal Gordon gets the rebound, goes to the crossover, into the lane. Linklater dancing behind the arc, got the edge in foot speed over Dinler. Lots of contact, and again, finally called. O'Neal Gordon tried to get the shot away with the shot clock ticking down, and he makes it from the free throw line. So it's a strong start by Saskatoon. Remember, they're 0-1 in pool play so far, the double team. O'Neal Gordon down in the lane, taking that ball away to dispossess Kavanch Dinler. They are still looking for their first offense. Well, couldn't get the shot to fall after pocketing the steal. Dinler for 2, drains it. So Tokyo have a point on the board, and it's a 2-pointer from beyond the arc from Kavanch Dinler. Inside, bruising his way to the hoop was Nolan Brudel. And then fires for two. Foul on the play. Now, my goodness, he had just scored on the interior, went to beyond the arc at the top of the key, and then was fouled, so we'll go to the free throw line for two shots. Not the smartest of basketball plays on that particular possession from Tokyo. Brudel punishes them by making the first. And he is perfect on that trip to the free throw line. So 3 consecutive points scored by Nolan Brudel. Saskatoon leading Tokyo by 5. Saskatoon 7, Tokyo 2. Ochiai, shot clock violation, so that shot attempt will not count. So Linklater trying to find Brudel, who was cutting back door, but only found the end line, and so the ball goes out of bounds, turnover, and it's Tokyo's possession. So Ochiai offloads to Eddie. He's handling on the perimeter now. Back to Ochiai, fakes the two, goes to work on Gordon. Dinler, rim shot from 2-point territory. Turnaround J fired by Eddie. Pump faking like crazy on the inside was Ochiai. And it's Linklater who comes away with it. Looked at the two with all kinds of time. Offloads to Gordon. He slices to the hole before Eddie comes away with it. Inside, Dinler working in the low post. Gets his man off the floor. Traveling violation. Shuffling those feet without bouncing the basketball. And it goes back the other way. So, Eddie guarding Linklater. Linklater dribbles right, offloads. Brudel, rim shot, rebound secured by Liefers. Linklater has it once again. Despite the low defensive stance of Dinler, you'd back Linklater to blow past him. Shot from the perimeter. Liefers was soaring high for the rebound, couldn't control it. And it looks as though he got the last fingertip touch. There's the rim shot. There's the big effort to try and pull in the board by Liefers, but just couldn't grasp it securely. So foul called, I think, on the perimeter. Linklater wrapping up his man as though it's a rugby game beyond the 2-point line. Dinler for two and drains it. Late on the rotation was Michael Liefers, and he was punished by Kavanch Dinler, who reduces it to a 3-point deficit. Saskatoon 7, Tokyo 4 in this Pool B game. Remember, it's this Pool A game. It's the second Pool A encounter for Saskatoon here in Doha. Tokyo in their first. Big rebound pulled in by Erdogan. Mustafa Erdogan, the tallest player on the Tokyo squad, 204 centimeters. Solid citizen as well. So Dinler, guarded by Brudel, dribbles left, spins back right, picks up the dribble. Eddie fires for two. Nothing on that particular shot, hustles after it, but his foot was out of bounds, comes into contact with the advertising hoarding on the end line. And I can tell you, I was here when this court was being erected, and those end line and sideline hoardings are rock solid. So unless you're a heavyweight, you could well come out second best if you collide with one of those, because they are not easy to move at all. Anchored by cast iron feet. Whatever the construction material, it's not very flexible. I suppose you could take the point of view that most of Doha, given the region of the world that we are in, most of Qatar is a plethora of sand, but we are literally on top of a beach volleyball court here, part of the Qatar Sports Academy. Qatar Basketball Federation is just across the promenade. The Qatar Olympic Center is within this campus as well. It's a magnificent all-sporting facility, and the temporary 3x3 court has been built and constructed on top of a beach volleyball arena. There's beach soccer just over the way. I can see a game of beach soccer taking place just to our right, beyond the end line of the 3x3 court here. But back to matters on the 3x3 court as Liefers goes way up high to take that rebound down from above the rim. Inside it goes to Dindler, and he has been a real high point and bright spark for Tokyo on the offensive side of the ball. Linklater using that quickness to dance into the lane. The ball is bumped free, and it's last touched by Canada. But Linklater getting Gordon off his feet. Liefers couldn't get there in time. Gordon pulls up as the shot clock was ticking down. Nothing doing on that shot. Air ball from 2-point territory. So it's Tokyo possession in the hands of Ochiai. Rejected by Gordon, but there was a foul in the act of shooting, so a trip to the charity stripe for Mustafa Erdogan. Erdogan, a last-minute addition to the Tokyo 3x3 outfit, replacing the legend Angel Santana, who suffered a knee injury, preventing his appearance here. But in this particular game, in Pool A, it is a 2-point contest. Saskatoon 7, Tokyo 5, 6 minutes remaining in this game. Erdogan, guarded by Linklater, inside to Ochiai. Ochiai back iron on that shot. Linklater fakes left, drives right into the lane, absorbs the contact, goes to the right-handed layup. Liefers comes away with it. Dindler's asking for a travel. Linklater working on Dindler and drains the two right in his eye. 5.5 minutes to play. Saskatoon extend their lead to 4. Saskatoon 9, Tokyo 5 off that long-range two, despite the defensive attentions of Kvench Dindler. And there it is once again. There's a low defensive stance employed, but the hand wasn't up in the shooter's face, so Linklater took full advantage. Made it a 4-point lead in favor of Saskatoon. The number 4 seeds leading the number 5 seeds by 9 points to 5. But Kvench Dindler reduces the deficit from the free throw line. 3-point game now as Dindler looking to work on his size advantage. Dramatic flop to the court by Linklater. Nobody buying it. Acrobatic shot completed, but that will not count. There's the flop. Goes flying across the court, but you can see the whistle. There was a fair amount of contact, but whether it was enough to knock him flying like that, I'm really not sure. Linklater weighs in at 84 kilograms, Dindler 110, so it is a catch-weight contest down there in the low post. But perhaps just a little bit of embellishment on the backward thrust from Michael Linklater.
The Worm takes out the ball. Yes, it's Eddie.
Eddie uses the jab step before driving right, traveling violation from Seun Eddie. Seun Eddie called for that travel. Inside. Erdogan comes down to help out. Ochiai turns around and gets the left-handed shot to fall.
2-point ball game.
Left-handed shooter, and then terrific activity on the defensive side of the ball by Eddie. He's in possession now, having secured this new offense. Drives the lane with the left, traveling violation. He's having real trouble with his footwear out there on the court, because when he attempts to stop, his feet are going beneath him like the Flintstones. Can't apply the brakes and come to a complete stop to prevent that travel violation from being called.
Here we go.
So Brudel to Linklater, fires from mid-range, front rim, gets his own shot after Eddie was slow on the rotation. Linklater hangs in the air, and somehow, Nolan Brudel came down with that basketball when sandwiched in between two Tokyo players.
Score is 9-7. Saskatoon with a 2-point lead.
Tokyo still trailing by 2. Saskatoon 9, Tokyo 7. Just over 4 minutes to play. Erdogan comes down with the board, offloads to Dinler, back inside to Erdogan, and doesn't get the roll. But a beautiful give and go between Erdogan and Dinler. It was the give, there was the cut to the basket, there was the pass back to him, but he couldn't convert. And instead it will be a trip to the free throw line. Mustafa Erdogan, nicknamed the Sniper, looking to reduce the deficit to 1, but gets his own rebound before Brudel takes it away. So Linklater drives the lane in between all 3 Tokyo players. Traveling violation called on the Saskatoon speedster. So timeout on the floor. Saskatoon leading Tokyo by 2. Saskatoon 9, Tokyo 7.
Later on, we will be having the PBA Legends Shootout featuring Johnny Abarientos and Alvin Patrimonio. The PBA Legends versus the Stars of Tomorrow.
Bench Dinler on the hot hand early. Hitting from long range. Or finishing on the inside as well. Linklater with the long range too. So the players back out on court. Tokyo in possession with Erdogan. He's guarded by Brudel. He drives right, shadowed by Brudel. Dinler with the 2 and gets into 4, rattled it home over the outstretched arm of Liefers. Dinler can't believe that he's been called for the foul there as Linklater left his feet. He felt he jumped into him, but there was the dead-eye 2 from Kavunch Dinler. And that, well, he feels he was perfectly within his cylinder. Mustafa Erdogan. Referee saying otherwise. It's in the act of shooting, so Michael Linklater goes to the free throw line. Can't convert the foul shot. Eddie has it, guarded by Linklater. Bounce pass, finds Erdogan. 3-second violation. Dinler can't believe it. He had offloaded the ball out to beyond the 2-point line. Despite tying the game up at 9 points apiece. Turn the ball over. Linklater with another 2. Front rim on this occasion. Gets his own rebound. In 2-point territory once again. Fighting for position on the inside is Brudel. He's guarded. But despite the good defensive attentions of Mustafa Erdogan, Nolan Brudel still able to hit the shot from the low post. Nice reception on the inside. Count the basket on the continuation. Wonderful finish from Kavunch Dinler. But here was the tough turnaround, Jay, from Nolan Brudel. Strong defensive presence from Mustafa Erdogan. But then there was a wonderful reception by Kavunch Dinler, slicing to the basket. Here it is.
2 shots. Team Saskatoon is now in penalty. 2 shots. Once again, no player being fouled out. Once it reaches the penalty with 17 fouls.
So, potential 3-point play here for Kavunch Dinler. Saskatoon now in a penalty, so it's 2 free throws following the made basket, the made field goal by Dinler. And Kavunch Dinler completes a 3-point play to give Tokyo a 2-point advantage. Saskatoon 10, Tokyo 12, just under 3 minutes to play in this Pool A game. Ochai with the rebound, Dinler for 2, back iron. Ochai comes down with the board, going to work on Gordon, turns around, kicks it out to Dinler. Dinler, rim shot once again. Fighting hard to keep it alive was Erdogan. Flash Gordon finally comes down with it. Working on Ochai. Dribbles left, picks it up inside to Brunel. that foul called on Tokyo. Just trying to see where that foul was committed, and there it is. The man nicknamed Worm. In homage to the man he really respects, the basketball player, Dennis Rodman. Only 5 players played in all 3 editions of the FIBA 3x3 All-Stars, along with the Dream Shake, Yassine Musa of Doha, Novisad Al-Haktas, Dusan Domovic Bullet. They're the type of moves he can produce. Left-handed player with a sweet stroke from the perimeter. Did fairly well in the QBF's 3-point shootout contest. QBF shootout contest from 2-point territory, and they did pretty well, posting 8 points during that particular competition. So Linklater tries to offload inside, put out to Gordon, front rim on that shot. Erdogan comes down with the board. So Tokyo leading by 2, Linklater takes it away, drives to the hole, gets the shot away with the left hand, can't get it to fall. Leifers on cleanup duty, sticks it home. Saskatoon back to within 1. And the activity of Saskatoon on the defensive side of the ball paying dividends once again. Flash Gordon dances his way into the lane. Leifers keeping it alive once more. And on 2 successive possessions, he has got the stick back to 4, and we have a tied game at 12 points apiece. So the shot clock's still ticking here. Did that ball... I said it was still ticking, excuse me, there must have been contact with the iron. Eddie from the corner. Back iron, short on the shot. Gordon with possession for Saskatoon. And he drains the 2. Erdogan was slow on the defensive help, and he was punished by Flash Gordon, who makes it a 2-point advantage in favor of Saskatoon. Saskatoon 14, Tokyo 12, with just over a minute to play. The slow rotation of Mustafa Erdogan was punished without mercy by O'Neal Gordon. And he has broken the deadlock to give Saskatoon a 2-point advantage. 1 minute, 19 seconds remaining in this Pool A game. Remember, Tokyo could have eliminated Saskatoon from contention here. If Saskatoon were to lose this, they would be 0-2 in pool play with no chance whatsoever of progression. But Saskatoon have fought their way back in. There were 2 scrappy baskets on the inside, then a dead-eye 2 from O'Neal Gordon. I think that's 4 unanswered points if memory serves. But answers does Kavanch Dindler. Crucial that they don't get fatigued now, Tokyo, as Linklater fires for 2, short on the shot. Who does it? Shot clock has sounded. It's a shot clock violation. Now they're saying that it drew iron and hence that's why it dropped, but the officials saying otherwise. So a shot clock violation. It will be Tokyo possession with 47.3 seconds remaining in the game. Remember, if Tokyo can secure the victory, it is a Saskatoon ball, so it wasn't a shot clock violation. So Linklater from 2, front rim, big rebound hauled in by Brudel. Lots of contact on the floor. Now, Tokyo whistled for that foul that puts them in the penalty. And so it will be a trip to the free throw line. That's a terrific rebound by Nolan Brudel. Didn't take advantage to make it a wider lead, but he can still make it a 2-point cushion for Saskatoon if he can drain this second one. Doesn't get the roll on either, so still a 1-point game. 30 seconds remaining. Dindler, guarded by Gordon, initiating the contact, goes to the right-handed hook. No call from the official. Saskatoon in possession. Linklater, guarded by Erdogan. Wide open from 2, but can't get it to fall. It's Brudel, but Saskatoon have possession. They can now dribble this one out. Surely, they've got a foul and make Saskatoon take their chances from the free throw line. They fouled Michael Linklater, but I think fatigue is a factor in his performance by Tokyo here. The defensive intensity has lessened. They've been slower on the rotations than they were earlier on in the game. So now Linklater can make this a 2-possession game if he can ice both free throws. He's done so on the first. So Saskatoon, credit to them, because it appears, barring something miraculous, well, it's a 2-point game. Can Tokyo hit from downtown? Ochai for 2. Rim shot. Nobody in 3-point territory. They've got to fire now. Erdogan does so. Nothing doing. So at the conclusion of this Pool A game, Saskatoon, with their grit and competitive fire, keep themselves alive in Pool A.